Hello everybody, welcome to part 2 of my Only for Survive video series, I guess I'll call it. I'm going to read out my little legal statement. I'll do it at the start of every video because somebody might jump into the second or third video and not know what I'm on about. Anyway, this is a personal fan-made project called Only for Survive. It is inspired by Left 4 Dead, but not affiliated with or endorsed by Valve. I'm developing it purely as a design experiment and I hope one day to explore an official license. So that's that out of the way. Okay, so this is video 2. I realise as well every time I touch the table the video wobbles. Not very good setup. But anyway, I'll try and not wobble the video as much as I can. One thing, so last video we set up the game and I explained a bit about the game. One thing I did forget in the video is to give the characters who've got weapons with an ammunition value their ammunition. So the way I've currently designed it is that everybody has a pistol and the pistol doesn't have any special effects. So the pistol is basically always going to start on every character's character sheet. And so that it kind of gives you a blank space to store the ammunition you're using during the game. So that's why that ammunition is sitting on the pistol next to the weapon that uses it, if that makes sense. Obviously, in the final game, this pistol could just be printed on the character sheet, I think. But maybe the dual pistols would swap out for the pistol. Anyway. So maybe I'd still need it as cards. Anyway, so we're going to play. So I have got a little turn sequence on my little threat tracker over here. As I say, I won't explain everything that's here. If you're just jumping into this video, we're just going to kick off and I'm going to start playing it. As I've said in the previous video, I've already done loads of notes when I played this the first time. So there will be lots of stop starting and things like that, and I might be writing notes. As I say, this is kind of like a live journal, a live design process. So I'll be figuring things out and discovering things about the game and making up things and everything like that, and realising the game doesn't work at all and I have to chuck it away. Right, okay, so I'm just going to jump into it. So I'm not going to obviously always address the camera. I'm just going to just look like a madman talking to myself for a while. Okay, so turn sequence. The player turns. Each character has 1 free move action and 2 actions. That's how we're currently working it. So the free move action is you can move up to 2 nodes. And then the 2 actions, an extra action can be an extra move for 1 extra node of movement. So you could move 2, 3, 4 nodes with your actions, or you could move 2 nodes and then fire twice, basically. How the game works is the turn sequence is the player takes their turn, then it's the enemy activation, so the enemies activate. So after each player's turn, all the enemies activate, and they activate in order of Stalker, Hag, Licker, Dozer, Infected, and the Blister. And then each player would draw from one of the AI decks, whichever one they want to choose, but they can't pick the same one every time. So after I've picked from a deck, I'll put a little marker on it, which shows that I can't pick from that deck until I've picked from another deck, and then you put the marker on that one and stuff like that. It just means you can't exhaust one deck completely. So, as you all know from the previous videos, the players build those AI decks themselves, so they are kind of like their own AI, which is the nice, clever thing in the game, I think personally, even though I designed it. So one player can't build their deck a certain way and go, I know, I've memorised every card and can tell you what's going to happen every single turn. And you'll be amazed how quickly you forget what your deck consists of when you start playing. So it would be the player turn, then the enemies are activate, then we would draw an AI card, then it would be the next player's turn. And this is also replicated just by these little icons on each character sheet. So there's a little marker for every character, so I can, when you're playing solo, you've got an easy way to track everybody's movement and things like that. Okay, so let's go. So let's start with Jo. She's got the Uzi. On the board at the moment, I've got a gasoline canister, a propane canister, which if I shoot it, it will explode, do damage, so that's fine, that can stay there. You can pick things up in this game, so if I'm standing on an adjacent node, if I'm standing on the same node, I can pick that up as a free action, I think. I think that doesn't cost an action to pick things up yet. And then you'd store it in your hand slot, and then I could throw it to another slot. And so basically once per turn you can move things around. This location is a barricade. Barricades you can't move onto, but if you're standing adjacent to it for an action, you can move it to, it costs an action, this one, to move it to another location. So you can kind of manipulate the layout of the board slightly if you want to funnel them in a certain way. You'd be amazed how much difference it makes. Okay, so at the moment all our targets are really is we've got 4 search tokens, which could potentially be lots of different things that are in this bag. And this game is not big and clever, it's about survival. It's about you need to get across all the tiles and escape the mission, so there's no other intricate goals or anything like that. It is just a replica of the game. Okay, so Jo's going to go first. She's the red character. I'm going to move her 1 node, 2 node, and then she's going to search from the bag. Now I don't know what's in this bag. I know what's in this bag, but I have no idea what we're going to draw. A propane canister. I think that, no, what's that? That's, just have a look what we call it. That's the oxygen tank. So I've got reference cards for all the items in the game and what they do. So the oxygen tank is a 1-use item. I can throw it at a range of 2, so I can throw it 2 nodes away. And you place the token on the node and it explodes when shot, causing 1 damage to all on the node. While carrying it, you cannot attack. Survivor on your node rolls a hit or a miss, it explodes. So a survivor on your node rolls a hit or a miss, it explodes. I think that's wrong. I think there's a rule, I feel like that. Let me just get my head around this rule. There is a survivor on your node rolls a hit or that should be a miss. No, what should that be? I think it should be a miss. I think the idea with this is that if somebody was carrying a canister and somebody shoots into your node, say you're on a node surrounded by zombies and you've got the canister, if somebody rolls a miss while shooting into your node, they hit the canister and set it off, basically. So I don't know why on the card I've got, I've written survivor on your node rolls a hit or a miss, it explodes. I think that should just be rolls a miss. But as I say, I designed this game months and months ago and I haven't sat down to do all this video recording, so I'm very flaky with the rules. But it doesn't really matter, it's a playtest. So the character basically uncovers this, so I remove that search token. And I could just throw the canister to a location, so I'm going to throw it to C as a free action. That's their turn. So went to that location, discovered a canister, threw it to that location because it's a free action. Then it would be the zombie's turn. So the turns are going to be very fast because you're just going to move and shoot. Or do one of your shouts. Zombie's turn. Something I forgot to do. At the start of each level, you're supposed to populate it with some zombies. Which is something else I haven't figured out in the game yet. I imagine it could just be that you say the cards from the director deck that you're not using, maybe you draw the top 3 cards of the director deck and you spawn that many zombies to the board, or maybe 1 card, but I won't even bother doing that for now because it doesn't really matter. But there could be some system there where let's just write it down. I'll start a new sheet of notes. There's just no room anywhere to film everything and record everything and write everything. Starting zombie setup. So that's something I need to figure out. I might have even figured it out already in my old notes, but anyway. So now we're going to do the zombies turn. There isn't any zombies. Then it would be the director card. So now it would be draw an AI card. So now we get to pick from any of these decks. As I say, normally the players would have built these decks themselves. So they would have some inkling as to what what card might be coming up. Or the first card, definitely everyone will probably know. But here I've just done it randomly just for this playtest. So let's flip the card over. Okay, it's a red card, so that's a bad card. Highway blockade, cars jammed for miles and still full. So it says I add +1 search token. So when you're requested to place another search token, you place it on one of the search spots with the least tokens, if that makes sense, because you always try and balance it. So if there was no token there, obviously you put the token on that location instead. So I add a new search token. So that's how more search, because some some map tiles have more search locations and things like that. That's how more searches end up in the game and things like that through the director deck. And there's lots of other things that the director deck does. Then it tells me to spawn 3 infected zombies. Now I've got these little tiny zombies from, I don't know what game they're from actually. I think they're from the zombie game called The Neighbourhood or something. What was it called? Anyway, some other zombie game that had tons of plastic zombies in. So these little zombies, because as I said in my previous video, the scale of this game is going to be really big. Because it's going to be, the idea would be like, a whole table full of board, and then the players would be running through it, trying to replicate the experience of the computer game. So the scale of all the minis would have to be really small, so there could be tons of zombies on the board, and plenty of space to move around and things like that. So that could all change. Maybe this won't work. Maybe bigger scale will be better and less movement, or whatever. We'll figure it out. So I'm going to be spawning 3, and it's spawn 3 at each A, B, C, and D. So each tile has 4 spawn spots on it in different places. So I have to spawn 3 at each location. It'd be better if I just had all these zombies out. So 3 zombies there, 3 zombies at B, 3 at C. I think we can see what's going to happen here. And 3 at D. Now that's very fortunate for us, because we've got some explosives on each of the spawn points. And then it says we get -1 threat. So actually our threat started at 2 and it's reduced to 1. Obviously it can only reduce to 0, but actually we're going to be a bit safer. The threat tracker simulates the horde rush when you hear the drums, music and tons of zombies pile out. This is what this simulates. So that's that player's turn. So it's going to be a very quick game. That's the whole idea. I'm trying to get it quicker. At the moment I already know this takes way too long. So there's going to be a whole bunch of things I need to do to speed it up. Okay, so that was it. That was that player's turn. We are going to do, so Joe's been, so I'm just going to do them in order here. So we're going to do Brick. So Brick is going to fire into this zone, onto the oxygen tank. So it explodes, causing 1 damage to everybody on it. The quote is, heads up, that tank's gonna blow. So he fires into that zone. Oh, you still just need to roll to hit. I forgot about that. So he's got the dual pistols. Now, pistols normally roll 2 white dice, and the white dice have got single hits, a miss, and a reload on it. Now the reload for the pistols is just a miss, basically, because the pistols have got infinite, both the pistols and the dual pistols have basically got infinite, little infinities, but infinite ammo, so you never run out of ammo for either of these guns. So basically the dice is a hit or a miss. So there's 2 misses on each dice and 4 hits. Now the pistol would normally just be 2 dice, and the dual pistols is 3 dice. So they're kind of crappy, but I just need 1 hit. So I got 2 misses and a hit. So boom, those 3 zombies are dead. That gas canister, that's oxygen tank is kaboom. Then he's going to shoot again at this one. And I'm just going to have to pause the video there a second. Oh, actually, I can just leave it running. Okay, I'll have to edit that out later, or I probably just won't bother. Me having to answer the door. Okay. Okay, so he is going to shoot again. He gets 3 hits, but he just needs 1. Boom! He shoots the propane tank, which explodes, causing 2 damage to all on the node. So if that would make a difference, obviously there was different enemies, because different enemies have different health. So that's another 3 zombies dead, and that's gone. So it's a nice good start for us. Then he's going to move 2 nodes, and he's going to search. Ooh, bomb. So he's got like a bomb there he can use. So we'll stick that in his hand. And we remove a search token. Nice. So obviously as we remove tokens from the bag, we get closer to danger. But obviously if you remove the dangerous tokens, then obviously they're not going to be in there anymore, so that's good. There's still lots of things about the bag that I still need to work out. Are some tokens going to stay in the bag and go back in the bag? Are some tokens going to be, or the tokens going to be permanently removed? I could have a system where maybe some of the tokens were marked, which are the kind of the base tokens of the bag, which always stay in the bag. So that could be a thing where if you draw a token with a certain mark on, you know it goes back in the bag. And then it could just be the tokens for the scenario that get taken out or something, anyway. So now that's Brick's go. So now it's the zombies' turn. The zombies, guess what? They move 1 towards the nearest, the nearest survivor. But boom, that's the zombies' turn. Easy. Then it's the AI card. So now he's got to pick from an AI card. So last time I chose from this deck, so I can't pick from that deck again. So let's pick from the next one. It is Overpass Creek. Metal groans above. The dead are crossing. 3 at C and D. 3 at C. Oh no, it's 3. It just appeared back again. 3 at C and D. And then we get +3 threats. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. I need a little more room for those. There. I pick from that deck. Okay, where am I in shot and camera there? Can't lean forward too much. Maybe if I move this way a bit, there we go. So that was his go. The zombies moved and then he drew an AI card. Now it's the next player's go. So you can see that I need to deal with these things now because we're about to get hit. Now you all get hit by zombies in this game, in its current state of affairs. You're going to get hit by zombies a lot. That's fine, that's what happens in the game. I haven't even thought about each character's quote, their shout, that they can do. I'm going to just have a quick look at some of them now. I'll read out, so who are we doing next? We're going to do Isaac next. And I always thought I called Isaac a different name. I don't know why. I can't remember now. Yeah, I thought it was called something else. Yeah, he's called Isaac. Anyway. Isaac and his quote, keep the pressure on. His quotes are, I'm not going to read their quotes out because I think some of them are too similar to the actual computer game. So I'll just read the effects out. Because even though I think I'm allowed to use a quote that's similar to the computer game, because how can you, somebody doesn't own great shot. If somebody says great shot, somebody can't say, oh, I own that. Anyway, so we're going to say, I'm just going to read out the effects of these quotes. So we've got target player gains +1 hit on an attack, gain 3 ammo tokens, heal themselves 5 hit points, target player may move 1 node, target player ignores 1 penalty this round, and target player gains +1 action. So he's got some good cards there. Each of the characters' quotes are individual, like they're all unique to the character, and they have half of them have unique effects to that character, if that makes sense. I think something like that. So each one of them has got 1 card that is completely unique to them, and then all the other effects are tailored towards their kind of character. That's what it is, yeah. But they're all different. But obviously, the cards that allow you to heal yourself are all the same, if that makes sense. So we're just going to look at his card and just think, well, I'll just keep that one on top and try and remember to use some of these, because I'll probably just forget. But when you imagine when you're playing single-handedly, you've got a lot to manage, so just managing this bit of the game is enough, rather than if you were playing with 4 players, you'd each just be concentrating on your little thing to do. So we see it's Isaac's turn. Isaac has got a lot to do because he somehow needs to kill all these. He's got a pump shotgun. If he's in the same node as the enemies he's trying to shoot, he gains an extra weak die in his attack. So his attack would be a black and a red, and he would gain that if he's in the same node. Now, I already think, because of the node movement, I think that even that the same node could be changed to adjacent node, you gain +1. Because it seems... We'll just play it as is for the moment. We'll just play it as is, but I think the shotgun could change. I'm going to put a note for that. Shotgun adjacent node +1. I think that would make more sense because the idea is that the spread of the shotgun is allowing you to kill more. Anyway, so from this node he's going to fire, so he's rolling a black, red and a white. The black is the highest damaging dice. It's got 2 double hits on it, a special and a 2 normal hits, a special and a reload. And the red dice has got 1 double hit. Yeah. 1 double hit, 1 double hit, yeah, 1 double hit. Okay, so he's going to fire into this node. He gets 3 hits, boom, and dead. He's going to fire into this node as his other action. 3 hits, very nice, boom, dead. Okay, he's going to... Let's have a little look at his shouts. And he didn't need to roll anything. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I just did that completely wrong. I was already rolling the extra dice each attack when I clearly just said that you only get the extra dice, and I've done it all wrong anyway. Right, I'm going to reset that. So this is what playtesting is like. Me figuring it all out. Okay, the shotgun rolls these 2 dice. At the moment the system works by, if I roll a star, I get to roll an extra dice and add that to the attack if I was on the same node. Each weapon has got 2 different specials. So its other special is if I roll a star and I'm on the same node, I get to knock back 3, one node. So if there was loads of them and I roll a star, I can push 3 of them back. I already know that this doesn't really work. It's far too weak, because rolling a star is effectively means you haven't hit, and then your bonus for rolling the bonus star is you roll an extra dice which could just miss. So it's not really much of a bonus, but we're going to play it as it is, and you'll get to see all these issues. So he rolls 1 hit. This is a big game changer, and a reload, which means I have to discard an ammunition. I'm just going to discard them up there. So that was his first attack, and then his second attack is going to be on the same zone, and he gains 2 hits. Okay, then he is going to... He's going to play this shout, and I'm just going to store it underneath them. He's going to use his shout to do an extra action, which he's going to fire again. And he gets, 4 hits, boom, nice. Then he's going to move, 1, 2, and he's going to pick up a search token. And he gains some ammunition. So the ammo token basically gives you 5 ammunition. Now you can only carry up to 6. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he just gains 1 ammo back basically. You can't carry more ammunition than the weapon can hold, if that makes sense. That's his turn. Then it's going to be the zombie turn. This is why this little track is so useful. even though the turns are so simple, the zombie turn, so the zombies are going to move, so these zombies are going to move to here. What the zombies do is they move one node closer, but they'll also move closest in distance, if that makes sense. So even though this node and this node are one node closer to this node, because I could move to this node and then to that node, or that node to that node, they'll move to this node because it's actually physically closer than this one, if that makes sense. So when it comes to moving nodes to node, they'll move to the node which is closer in physical distance as well. So obviously if they were moving this way, this would be the node that they would move to, but they're going to move towards this character, so they could move to either of these two nodes, but this one is physically closer, so they move to this node. These guys obviously will move to this node. Now, when zombies move in, they just do the damage, so I've got to take 3 hits. So I'm going to take them all on Isaac. 1, 2, 3. Now I realise that all these health trackers and everything I've got here are very easy for me to just ping it off. Obviously, this is a prototype. This is not how the actual tracker might even look or anything like that. Obviously, I would have a tracker that had inset cubes, or maybe I would love to make some kind of slider that was like red, and then as you pushed it back, the red went down, so it looked like a health bar, which would look cool. Which could do it with a dual layered board with like a sliding out cardboard piece. But you'd have to have 2 of them, but it depends how long the track is, and anyway. So that would be the idea. As I say here, this is just a representation of what could happen in the game. So the zombies move, they'll hit, they do me 3 damage. I take them all on Isaac. I could split it however I wanted. Then he is going to pick an AI card. So here we go, we're going to pick this one. And it's Underpass Rush 3. It's not always 3, by the way. I've just picked 3 cards that are always 3. 3 at A, and 3 at C. Let's see. And then we gain +1 threat. Underpass Rush. The moan echoes down the concrete throat. Right. Underpass Rush. Okay. So we've spawned our zombies in. So now it's the Rook's go. Rook is going to, do I risk that? Rook is going to, what's Rook got? He's got the dual pistols. Oh god, we need to get some stuff. Right, Rook is going to move 2 and search. I feel like dual pistols to start with is very hard. He searches, he gets some ammunition, so that's useless. See, I think here, the ammunition being pulled out is obviously a negative for the bag, because those are good things, but because I'm not using any ammunition, maybe the character could hold the ammunition token and use it whenever they want to. But no. This is what the players can do. I've drawn an ammunition token. I can leave the ammunition token on the tile. Yes. Tokens drawn can be dropped on node. Right, so yeah, so the character, if a character draws something from the bag, they can choose to just drop it on the node. So even though I don't need it now, then somebody else could move to that node and choose to pick it up and get the 5 ammo. That makes far more sense. There you go. You've witnessed something being designed. Okay. So he's moved, and that's his free move action. Move up to 2 nodes. He's going to fire. He's got the dual pistols, which he's rolling 3 dice. So he's going to shoot into this node here. So he does 3 hits. Very nice. What's the range of the gun? Is range 3 nodes? 1, 2, 3. So I can shoot 1, 2, 3. I can shoot there 1, 2, 3. I can shoot into this node. Now shooting into nodes with friendlies means that if you roll a miss, you hit a friendly, and ammunition and a miss counts as a miss on this, and an ammunition roll counts as a miss. So don't really want to do that. 1, 2, 3. Those are going to hit those. So 1, 2, 3. So I really want to shoot these guys. 3 hits. Oh yeah, he's doing well. Okay, nice. So now the zombies would act because he's taken his 2. So these zombies are going to move to here. These zombies are going to hit. So I'm going to put them all on Joe. No, I'm going to put them all on Isaac. 1, 2, 3. Now, why am I putting them all on Isaac? I'm putting them all on Isaac because I know he's got a shout that heals him, so we can just use that. If he manages to reset it, because I've already used his skill, so now I need to roll a star to reset that. There we go, that was Rook's go. Now he has to draw an AI card, so I'm just going along the pile. We've got car park alarm. Now this is something I haven't touched on in the other video either, actually, is that some of the symbols on the board is a little alarm symbol. A little alarm symbol at the top there. If you shoot into a zone with an alarm, the alarm goes off. I'm now crazily trying to think of the rule. What was the rule? When you shoot onto a location with an alarm, you increase the threat by +3. Yes, this is a really nice system in the game, I think, because I wanted you to be able to, like, you know, there's like a car there, and so if you move onto the node, you have you can potentially set off the car alarm and things like that. You know, if you shoot into the node, sorry. So having some way to replicate that happening as it does in the game is cool, and it works really nicely with the threat tracker, because if you shoot into that node, you set the alarm off, which just gains you +3 threat, which then can cause a horde rush. So it's just a nice way of replicating that kind of thing in the game. So you don't instantly get overwhelmed, but there's a chance to. So you kind of want to avoid them. I think it's if you shoot into the node with an alarm, the alarm goes off. If you miss a shot adjacent to a node with an alarm, so on this tile here, there's an alarm node here. If you shoot into any of these nodes and you roll a miss, you also set the alarm off. And when you set the alarm off, you'll remove the alarm token. So when we're populating that tile, I would place an alarm token on it, and if you set it off, you'd remove it, so you know it had been set off. So here it says car park alarm. So I need to place an alarm on the special node. So there's one node on each tile that's a special. That's got a special little mark on it. So this is generally where kind of like weird effects and stuff happen. So there's an alarm there now, which is not useful, because if I shoot these guys and roll a miss, I'm going to set the alarm off, which gets me +3 threat. Then I'm going to spawn 4 at B and C. 4 at B and 4 at C. And again, +1 threat. The car park alarm says, you click the bumper, now they're everywhere. Okay, and then that was from that deck. So obviously, I'm not playing this at full speed because I'm working out all the rules, so obviously it takes a long time to play rounds in this game currently. But obviously if I was just playing the straight rules, it would be much quicker if I knew all the rules and I could just rattle through the turns. So it's hard to gauge how long the actual game might take, because I've just played one, effectively like full round where all the characters have acted and all the characters have done an AI card. And I've been filming for like 40 minutes. But obviously, probably more than half of that is waffle. There's probably about 10 minutes of actual gameplay time. But it's very hard to judge. So we'll just keep figuring it out. So I'm going to carry on doing another turn. So all the characters reset. There's no turn order. Players can take their turns in any order. We've got a number of zombies on the board, and we need to. I really would like some better weapons. But that means I just need to search. But some more searches could appear. I feel like if I'm at this location here, which is raised, I gain an extra dice when attacking on all my attacks. So that could be good just to have somebody sitting there shooting away before we go on to the next tile. I know zombies can't move on to there. No one can move on to that tile. So let's say I'm going to do the pump shotgun. So I'm going to do Isaac first. Isaac's going to roll a red and a black. And he rolls the star, which means I could knock 3 of them back 1 node. Or I could roll an extra weak die. Well, I'm going to roll an extra weak die, so he gets 2 hits. This is a rule that I remember. When you're leaving a node, you take damage if you leave a node which has got zombies on it, but you take the number of zombies halved, rounded down. So if you're leaving a node with 1 zombie, you don't take any damage, basically. So basically, there's 2 zombies on a node and you want to leave it, you're going to take 1 damage. You're going to take half the damage rounded down. So as long as there's just 1, you can leave. So I've fired once. He's going to move. Oh, the shotgun guy is probably not the best guy to have in the air because he's only got a range of 2. So I'm going to fire again into this node, and he gets 1 hit and a reload. What a swine. So I'm going to put the hit there. Then, and then I forgot, each character has got a shove action. Now some of these rules might not be in my rule book as written, as my 50-page rule book, which is ludicrous, which I'm sure I showed you before. My 50-page rule book. So some rules I'm probably making up as I go along. But I'm sure that one of my rules is that you get a free shove each round. So doesn't cost an action. I think you just have a free shove. I'm going to write it down. Free shove. So he is going to shove this zombie into this node, and then I'm going to stay there, take the 3 hits. No, I might as well just move, but it means that red is going to take all the hits. Well, we're not going to gain anything. He could move 1, 2, get this ammo. Let's do that. Okay, he moves to there. Oh, we've still got a search token. Should he just search? No. I kind of prefer to search at the beginning of your turn, because if it's something useful, then you've got your turn to do something with it. So he's going to move 2. But it does mean that Joe is going to get overwhelmed a bit. But that's fine. So it's the zombie's turn. So all these guys move to Joe and do 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all these guys. Ooh, did I roll a miss? I did. That should have gone off. In his attack in the previous round, I rolled a miss, which would have set this alarm off, which would have gained me +3. Ouchie, ouchie. +3 threat. Then these guys would move, that's closer to her. These guys would move. Then that's the zombie turn, then it's my AI card. I'm going to draw from this deck, I think. And we've got a orange one, orange danger level. There's 3 danger levels to the cards. There's green, orange and red. Obviously the red cards spawn more zombies, have nastier effects on them, much nastier effects, but they spawn less or no threat or reduce the threat, and green easy cards increase the threat. So the more green cards you have, the more chance there is going to be a horde rush. So if the game's really mellow and you're having an easy time, the game will punish you for that. So it kind of replicates the computer game experience. We've got warehouse breach. The loading doors give way, they pour in. Warehouse breach. We have got to put a alarm token on B, and we spawn 4 zombies at B and D. So the nasty thing is that now I'm not even going to want to fire into that location. And D. 2, 3, 4 in D. I mean, I remember when I first started designing it, I was thinking, I think I might need to double the amount of zombies that spawn out. But I think at the moment, it's more of a case that I need to drastically improve the damage output on the weapons and make them a lot more potent, because you want the player to be running in, just rolling dice and just wasting loads of zombies. But we'll see how the balance works. So we've spawned the zombies for Isaac's turn. That was the AI card. What did we do? And we should have increased the threat by just 1 for warehouse breach. So we place an alarm, we spawn zombies, and then we increase the threat by 1. So I've got 4 levels of threat. So if I shoot into that location, I could almost push me up into the horde rush, which I don't really want to do, because it means you have to draw 2 AI cards each round until you're out of the horde rush zone on the threat tracker. So it just means a lot more zombies will spawn. Let's have a bit more water. Okay, Isaac's been. I think Joe's going to have to go because she's just about to get hammered. What quotes has she got? Cancel 1 reload, temporarily block a spawn point for a round, all players on your target plus 1 movement, add an extra medium dice to your attack, move yourself 2 nodes out of danger. Oh, could be good. Could move 1, 2, and then she could move up to their range of 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I could do that. That would be nice. Right. Target player may move 1 node immediately. She's got a lot of movement cards, which is cool. Little Joe. She's like a small, nimble, female child character. Okay, if we can play the 4 back card, move yourself 2 nodes out of danger. So she's going to move 1, 2. Well, actually, first she's going to search. This could be bad. It'd be pretty funny if it was. It's good. It is a gas can. And the gas can does place it on a target node, ignite when shot, 1 damage to all, node remains on fire until the end of the next round, damaging all who enter it. If a survivor on your node rolls a miss, then they ignite it. So I'm going to, the point, do I want to? So she collects. So we remove the search. So she has now got this. I want want to do the most damage possible. So she's going to throw this onto this node. Yeah. Or should she just throw onto that node? Because I'm going to move 1, 2 to here, and then they're going to move, that's closer, so they'll move there. She is going to leave the canister there. She moves 2, 1, 2, 3. She's shooting into the node, wasting a shot. Okay. She collects the canister, but she throws it, she can throw it up to 2 nodes. She throws it to this node. That's all free action. Maybe it'll cost actions in the future, maybe it doesn't, maybe it will, I don't know, but for now it's free. She throws it to that node. She then is going to play her fallback card, which I'll just shove under there, spending her special to move 2 nodes, 1, 2. Oh, wait a minute, she's going to take damage. She's going to take the hit. She's going to move 2, taking 2 damage, because she takes half the damage rounded down by those zombies. She's then going to move her 1. Did she ever move 1? Okay, she's not going to use the move 2. She's going to use, instead, she's going to use her move 1 node immediately. So she moved 1 node immediately and then used her move to move 2. So now she's on this elevated section, which means that she now gains plus 1 extra white dice to her attack. So she's got an Uzi which rolls 2 red and a white, and now she's going to roll an additional white for shooting, and she's got a range of 3, and she's still got both of her attacks. So she's going to roll 4 dice, 1, 2, 1, 2. If she shoots into there, she's going to set the alarm off. Okay, she's going to shoot into here. She's going to set the alarm off. She's going to set the alarm off. Either of those groups, she's going to set it off. Well, you'll get to see it. So she rolls a miss. She sets the alarm off. That increases my threat by 3. 1, 2, 3. She rolls 3 hits, leaving 1 zombie there. And she rolls a re-roll, so she has to spend an ammunition. That was her first attack. And then her next attack, she's safe there. These guys aren't safe. She's going to shoot into that zone. And she rolls exactly the same. Loses an ammunition. She gets 2 hits. So I think at the moment, my thinking is that the white dice is too crap, and actually it shouldn't have a miss on it. It should just have a reload which counts as the miss. So it should just be, you always do 1 hit, or you might miss, so 1 in 6 miss. A 2 in 6 miss, I think, is too hard. So I'm almost certain I have that as a note already, but I'm just going to write it down. I think these dice need to be vastly improved anyway. White dice, remove, miss. Because it's you want the players to be able to consistently just shoot zombies with a chance of missing. And as I said, I think when I was designing it, I thought you'd want to make the pistol really crap. But it's more that I need to make the white dice slightly better, because they still are crap, and the red and the black dice even better. And I think that'll be a case of changing the function of the specials. So the guns will have effects that they already do, but the special will give you another bonus on top of that extra effect. So for example, the pump shotgun has got, you roll an extra dice. If you roll a star, you roll an extra dice in your attack when you roll a star. So if you roll a star, you'd get to roll an extra dice. But I think if you're on the same node, the natural benefit of the shotgun is you should always get an extra dice if you're on the same node, regardless of whether you roll a special, and the special maybe allows you to do 2 extra damage, for example. So each weapon then can be more unique to itself, and then you just get an extra bonus for rolling the star, so the star has more impact, because at the moment the star's impact is crap, because you're going, oh, I've rolled a special, what does that mean? I can roll an extra hit that's actually weaker than the gun itself. So it doesn't make much sense. I mean, in this example, the special could be re-roll another whole attack, would be more fun. Right, let's quickly try and rattle these other guys' turns out. I'm going to try and do it, their turns in a few minutes. Okay, so that was Isaac's go. Then it is, this is Jo's go, sorry. So she's taken her turns. She's used that, she's fired twice, then it's the zombies going to move. So these guys are going to move to there, this guy's going to move to there, these guys are going to move into that location. These guys are going to move to the closest via distance, so boom, green takes 4 hits, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here, yellow or blue are going to take a hit. We'll put it on brick. Okay, cool, so now Joe's got to draw an AI card. Let's draw one from here. It is the maintenance yard, toolboxes, corpses and footsteps. So I add a search token. So we've got 2 search locations. I can add it at either. If there was already one at that location, I'd have to add it to the other one. But obviously, where I am, I'd much rather it be here. So I'm going to add it to here. Thank you. So I add a search token. I have to spawn 3 at A and 3 and 4 at B. You can see the board's filling up quickly as zombies. And 4 at B, and I gain +1 threat. So now my threat token has just moved on to the exclamation symbol, which means I'm in the midst of a zombie horde rush, which means now I have to draw, on my next turn, with the next character, I have to draw double the amount of AI cards. So I have to draw 2 AI cards instead of 1. Now, do I have to do that now? I feel like I have to do it now. I'm not too sure. I'm not going to play it as that at the moment, but I think as soon as you enter, so if that card triggered it, I would then have to enact it. Yeah, I think you would, yes, because as soon as you, otherwise somebody could go past the tracker and then do something to get out of the tracker. So as soon as you go in it, you have to draw it. That makes sense. No, but what if it was an action that caused it to happen? Let's leave it as it is at the moment and see what happens. So I'm going to play it at the moment that when I've entered it, on the following turn, I'll have to draw 2 because I'm in it, if that makes sense. I'm in the horde rush. So we've done Joe's turn. Now let's do Brick. So Brick is going to move. He's got the dual pistol. He's going to search. Brick's going to search. Come on. Let's do it fast. Drew the tank. I drew the dozer in this game. I drew the dozer, who is the tank. The dozer, there he is, the big muscly guy. And he spawns at the furthest special spawn. So he will spawn here. I tell you what, for now, oh no, I've got some minis for him. So I'm using this mini from another game. I don't know what game it is. Zombie 24 or something is it called? It's like this turn-based zombie game that you have to play really fast. 5-minute zombie or something it's called, I can't remember. Anyway, this is a model from it. So we spawn a tank. I think the tank spawn will actually change. I think he'll end up spawning from an edge rather than inside, but for now we'll just play it as it is. So the tank's out of the bag. It tells you he moves 2, he hits all the survivors on the node, he pushes them all back 1, he breaks through obstacles, and he'll target the node with the healthiest survivor. He's got 20 hit points. I'm just going to stick him there. So that was my bag draw, which was great. This is Brick's turn. He's going to fire into this node adjacent to him. He rolls 2 misses and 1 hit. Okay, he fires again and he gets 3 hits. Okay. What cards has he got? Oh, he has got. I should have shot into there, shouldn't I? I've got no card. Damn it. Cancel 3 damage. Target black and move on zone. I can throw that, but that would be such a waste. But he's going to move closest to closest. He's going to target the healthiest survivor, which is blue. He's going to run there. Okay, we'll try something a bit fun. We're going to throw the pipe bomb. 1, 2. Which does uh, 2 damage all in that node. And it says, it explodes in the next round. Could be useful though, actually, yeah. Okay, I'm going to throw the pipe bomb. Beep, beep, beep. It starts beeping. Placed on the target node, all the infected move towards this node. At the start of the next round, it explodes, causing 2 damage to everybody on that node. Zombies love beeping, don't ask why. That's the quote. Okay, so yes, I am going to do that. That takes the heat off us a bit. Then all the zombies will move, and it says that the activation is the dozer goes before the infected. So he's going to move 2, 1, 2, knocking this person back 1. So I have to move to an adjacent node that's further away from the node that they're on. So that is not further away from the node. Further away from the node that in the direction that the tank has travelled from. So I could go to this node or this node. I'm going to go to this node. Out he takes. What damage does he do? He just damages everybody on the node 1 or 4. I can't remember. I feel like he would do more damage. He just damages everybody on the node, but I haven't actually written his damage down. Oh, I have, yeah. It's 4 damage, and he hits all the survivors on the node, so Isaac takes 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's down to nearly half health. Ouchie, ouchie. Then it's still bricks go. So now we need to move all the zombies. Now all the zombies, because I threw that, we're going to move to this node. Those zombies will move to there because they can't move to that because it's blocked. These zombies will move to there. These zombies will move to there. This zombie will move to there. I mean, that's pretty cool. That is very, very cool that happened. Then it's the AI card turn. Now, I've got to draw 2 AI cards because I'm in the threat's danger zone. So now I've got to draw 2. And this could be a rule that when you're drawing double, you always have to draw 2 from the same deck. Why would that be more fun? Could be just you just draw 2 cards from any deck, but you could say that you have to draw 2 from the same deck, because if people have preloaded it, they could then say draw from my deck because I know how I've staggered it. Is there any advantages to that? No. Let's just think about it. Let's not don't need to think about that now. So I draw 2 cards, and they're both red, so that means loads of zombies. School gym horde, the pep rally from hell, and boomer ambush. He explodes in a crowd. Okay, so I've got. Oh my god! Let's get some more zombies out. 5 zombies at A. What is that? A 5. I think 6 zombies. Was there? I think maybe there is a maximum number of zombies per node of 6. But I can't remember quite if it is. 5 at that node and 5 at D. Oh my god. 4, 5. And then +2 ammo. Who is this? Brick. He's got no ammo. This is interesting. This is something I didn't think about. Now, his drawing 2 reds, I get here is +0 threat, which while you're in this, you kind of want to quickly get through it. So you want to draw cards with high threat. So you want green cards when you're in here. So you have less zombies, which means you get through that quicker. But I've drawn 2 red cards, which reduce my threat, but actually I want to get past this threat. It's an interesting dynamic. So this adds +0 threat, and this one adds -1 threat, which I'm not in the danger zone anymore. Interesting. There could be a system where instead of the threat tracker moving, the danger zone, the threat danger zone could be the thing that moves. That's quite hard to track. Anyway, something to think about. So that's interesting. So we're just going to see how that plays out, because, and then sorry, I need to put 5 at there and 5 at there, and then I have to spawn 5 at B. 2, 3, 4, 5 at B, and add 1 boomer to B. So where's my boomer? I think I was going to use this guy here. This model is the boomer. Obviously I haven't got a boomer model. That's from an old Twilight zombie game. So he's my boomer and he's at B. So the boomer's there. So I can just see him in that group there. There's a boomer at B. And what does the boomer do? So those 2 went there. So I drew from those 2 decks. So I can't draw from those next time. The boomer. He's called the Blister in this game. The Blister. Big fat blistering guy. He spawns, he moves 1, he causes 2 damage, he targets the nearest group, then survivor. So he targets the nearest group and then the nearest survivor. So he aims for the largest group of survivors. He explodes on contact, survivors take damage and is vomited on. I mean, you get a vomit token on you, which lasts for a few rounds. And I think while you've got the vomit token on you, the zombies all move towards you. I think that's how it works. He's only got 1 hit point, so he's easy to shoot. When you're shooting into groups with zombies, you have to shoot the zombies first. You can't target the special, but you can if you've got the sniper rifle, I believe. Something like that, anyway. Okay, you can see it's getting super hectic here. So that was bricks go. Then we've got rooks go, and we'll just do rooks go, and then that'll be it. Wait a minute, what have I got to do? All the zombies moved, that tank appeared and now moved. I've done the AI cards, now it's rooks go. Right, how can rook save the day here? Now, if it was a limit, a maximum of 6 zombies per node, I would want the zombies on that node to be off that node because I'd want to be able to shoot at it. Oh, it's got dual pistols as well. Why have I got so many people with dual pistols? So crap. So for him to cause the max damage, I'm going to shoot this flaming. I'm going to say he's going to shoot into this flaming thing, and he rolls miss, and a hit. Rubbish. But he rolled 1 hit, which means we remove that canister, and I put a fire token down on the number. So this is a little fire token. I keep putting them upside down. Fire token with a number 2 on it, and then the other side it says 1 on it. So I put that on there, which means that all these zombies that were on it burn, and it's still got a grenade on it, and it's on fire, that location, which is awesome because I'm going to mop up most of these zombies. So that was his first shot. As you can see, I haven't moved hardly anywhere and I would really like to get moving. Cancel 1 limping penalty, player may return and redraw a different AI card, that's useful. Temporarily block a spawn point, target player, allow player to attack an enemy that just spawned. Okay, then he's going to, they're all going to move that way. Realistically, I want to put hits on the tank. I'm going to move 1, 2. The tank is going to go after the person with the highest health, which he is. So he's going to move. So I'm just going to move, and then I'm going to fire again into, let's whittle some of these down because otherwise I'm never going to get to them. So 2 hits. That's rooks go. Yeah, that's rooks go. Then move zombies. All the zombies are still moving towards this detonator token. So this actually would be perfect because the detonator, this bomb token stays on the node, and at the start of the next round explodes. So this would be a great token to have a 1 and a 2 on it as well. So I could put it down, and then you flip it over, and then you'd know that it's going to explode. So let's put that on my notes. Pipe bomb. Add 1, 2 on it. Okay. So all the zombies are going to move towards this node. So I'm going to say I move move them via distance first. So I'm going to say all these zombies move onto that node. Now when the zombies enter a node with fire, they're going to burn. So I'm not too sure how this is going to work yet. I'm going to say that when they enter a node with fire, they take the damage. This is obviously going to kill loads of zombies. So we're just going to play it as this now. It might be that the zombies move into that node. So all the zombies would move and then all the zombies would take damage. It means that every zombie wouldn't just move in and keep dying. But at the moment I feel like it's more cinematic that they all die. So they would move in and die. These would all move in and die. This guy would move in and die. These guys would move in and die. These guys would move one. The boomer just moves one. Would move one. These guys would move to there. These guys would move to there. The tank ignores the beeping because it's just a common infected that moves to there. So that's awesome. It does mean well, that's at the start of the next round. So it would have, the pipe bomb would have already exploded because the character would have chucked it. The previous character would have thrown it, and then I'm saying at the start of this character's turn, it would go off. So the zombies would only have one turn of moving towards the explosive. So I don't think that's enough. I think it would need to be on the board for at least 2 turns. It stays on for 2 turns. Yeah, because at the moment, as written, I had it that you can throw it, and then it stays there during your turn, and then all the zombies move towards it, and then at the start of the next turn it would go off, but that means the zombies only have 1 turn of movement to move next to it, which doesn't, I don't think, the idea is that you chuck it and then all adjacent zombies would move onto it and die. Is that enough? Is that enough? Maybe that does reflect how it works in the game, because you don't want it to be, you'd throw it, it would be on 2, the next player's turn you turn it over to 1, and then the next turn you remove it and it goes off. Yeah, 2 turns. So it can stay on there for 2 turns. That means I think that's still more cinematic because you have a couple of rounds of everything moving towards it, which is fun. So this is Rook's turn still. Oh, I should have moved the tank first. The tank would have moved towards the nearest, the player with the most health, hitting as many players as they can. So he can move 2. So we've got this location here, this location here. He's going to move here, so he could move 1, 2, but he's not. He's going to move 1, 2. So he's going to move 1 to there. Now I could move on to that location, but then I'm going to get hit again. So I'm going to go no, and then he's going to move to here, moving him to there. Yeah, I'm going to move to there. So Isaac takes 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Rook takes 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So you're basically seeing this one tile, an entire game's worth of gameplay is happening on one tile, which is far too slow. Obviously, there's a lot of me messing around, so probably half the time, but it's still way, 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 way too slow, this game. I'm not saying it's not fun as it is. I'm not saying that I don't think it's fun doing this, but it needs to speed up a lot. So it could be a case of there needs to be less nodes. It could be a case that the dice need to just do loads more damage. It could be a case that a whole game is you just play 2 tiles and that's the entire game, is just 2 tiles. An entire session. And it could be that a mission is 3 sessions put together. So you could play a 6-hour game and play the whole mission in one, or you could just play 2 tiles, which is the first bit before you get to the first safe room. Things like that. But we'll just play this action out. So the tank moved, the zombies moved, and now Rook would be doing his AI phase, and he's now just drawing one card because we're still just in threat. We're just before the threat gets set off, so I'm back to drawing one. So that was interesting. So this is the aftermath. Oh, this is a nice ash falls like snow. I gain 1 ammo. So Rook, you've got no weapon. I think I'll probably take dual pistols out of the starting weapons because it's too crap. But I think with the improvement of the dice, of the white dice, that might actually help a lot. And so again, +1 ammo, I spawn 1 zombie at D, and I gain -3 threat. 1, 2, 3. Nice. That's like the nicest red card in the game. So it's not like that every card is horrendous. There is some cards that are kind. So there we go. That is 2 full rounds and a lot of waffle from me. We've got a bunch of notes there. I think I'm going to have a look at my old notes and write all those notes up because I already know that there's tons of changes that I already had from my first sessions. But I'll pause here and then I will come back and continue from where I am and see what other niggles and things like that we managed to discover before I do any big changes to the game. Because what I would normally do is playtest this version and then go, oh, I can see all of this already needs to change, and then I'd make those changes, come back to the table, playtest that with the new changes. But I think we'll need to play this a bit more to figure out what the amount of changes, because I feel like I'm going to play a bit more and then discover some more changes. So we'll take it from there. See you next time for some more Only for Survive.